everybody wants to strike the ball better, but hitting ball after ball on the range is never usually the best way to get there. So what I like to do instead is to use drills that help me get the feeling for the positions I'm trying to achieve in my golf swing that are going to improve my ball flight. And today I've picked my 3 favourite drills for better ball striking, and the third one is a little bit different, but it's probably my favourite, so make sure you stick around for that one. So the first drill that I think is really good for improving ball striking is to hit some balls with your left foot in a straight line towards the ball and your right foot back and behind the ball. And what this drill is good for is for people that typically get a little bit too much behind the ball and a little bit too lifty, that are adding loft and they're flipping their hands, generally with higher, sort of weaker shots, not getting the distance and the compression they want on the ball. This drill is really good at keeping you a little bit more over the ball and a little bit more centered, and it also helps with your balance too. So what we're looking for from this position, with my left foot in a straight line and my right foot back behind that, is making some full swings, and we're looking for positions where we really feel like we're covering the ball and we're really over the ball at the moment of impact. This is as opposed to positions that look too much this way behind the ball, flipping the hands, which is really, really common and will always typically lead to weaker strikes. If we can get into positions where we're a little bit more over the ball this way, we'll start to get a little bit of shaft lean, we'll start to cover the ball a bit more, and we should see our iron shots come out with a much, much purer strike. So I would initially have a few practice swings of this, and you can go as long or as short as you want to start. But when you finish this swing, you're looking to still be nice and balanced, and you're looking to get the feeling for covering the ball a little bit. So with the ball, it should look a little bit this way. So right foot straight behind, up onto my toes and my right foot, and with the ball in the way, I can make a big full swing. And with that, again, I felt like I was really over the ball, felt like I was covering it, and it came off the club face really nicely. So with that, I'm going to take that back into my full swing, and I'll have a couple of practice swings and a swing with the ball where I really feel like, just like in the drill there, I'm covering the ball and I'm really over it, and we should start to feel a bit better contact on our iron shots. And the second drill follows the same sort of theme as the first drill, and this is playing the ball really far forward in your stance. So obviously normal mid-iron stance, we'd expect the ball to be in the centre or just forward of centre, but for this one we're going to play it almost further forwards than where we'd have a driver. And the goal for this is still to hit the ground after the ball, and the only way for me to do that is by really starting to transfer my weight onto my left leg, and again getting the feeling of covering the ball a little bit more. So my setup for this will look like this one. And this one's an interesting one because I don't need loads of swing force. All I'm going to do is I'm going to play the ball in an uncomfortable position where it's much further forward in my stance, and I'm just going to try and hit the ground after the ball, and naturally that should mean my body goes a little bit more over the ball this way. So instead of being in a position back here, because if I do that, I'm going to hit the ground miles before the ball, or I'm just going to top it by trying to hit the ground ahead of the ball, which is now much further forward in our stance. Naturally that should leave us a little bit more in this position. And this is the exact feeling I'd have if I was playing into wind, to compress the ball and hit it a little bit lower. I'd really feel like I was covering it this way. Obviously I'd do that from a more neutral ball position, but for this one we're going to play it really far forwards in the stance. I'm not too concerned what the ball does here, but I'm going to do my very best to hit the ground after the ball, so hopefully it'll look a little bit this way. And again, for me to get that ball, I really felt like I had to go this way, covering the ball a little bit more. That's really going to help you if you're the type of player that, again, lifts or picks the golf ball off the ground a little bit too much. And the final drill, this one's probably my favourite. It's a little bit different. What we're going to do for this last drill is we're going to hit some shots with either a really, really closed club face or a really, really strong grip around a neutral club face. The reason for this is typically people have a club face that opens up a little bit too much. And again, the reaction from an open club face is to square the hands by having too much of an early release this way. And because players who do this have been learning to square the face from a position that is too open, if we were to put the club in a position where the face is too closed, naturally you're going to learn to square that. And the way we square a club face that is too closed is with this position here, which again you're seeing there is tons of shaft lean, really, really strong impact. That's how you're going to start to compress your iron shots. If I was to have an open club face and I was going to make a good release, obviously we're going to see that ball shooting off to the right. So typically open club face, the reaction is to do this. Flip the hands too much, you might hit that one straight, but it's going to be higher, it's going to be weaker, and it's going to bring all of the mishits into play. So we're going to take that thought and we're going to take that into a position where the club face is very, very closed. So I've really hooded the face there. I'm going to take a slightly strong grip around that as well. And again, everything about this setup tells me the ball is just going to shoot off miles to the left, and it probably will. But I'm going to try as best I can to keep the club face square, and the way to do that is with shaft lean this way. So leading with the hands, and again, we all know that's a really desirable position for compressing the ball a little bit more. So really strong club face, slightly stronger grip. Everything about this setup tells me the ball's gonna go left, but I'm gonna try my absolute best to hold it off. And it's hard, it's gonna go a little bit off to the left, but the more I get the feel of squaring the club face the correct way, which is a little bit of shaft lean, when we go back to a neutral grip and hopefully a square club face, and we start to get that shaft leaning a little bit more, we're gonna see the ball coming out much, much better. It should be a more penetrating ball flight, and it should be a little bit more compression or iron shots. So in terms of ball striking, those are my 3 favorite drills. Doing drills is much, much better for me than just hitting balls mindlessly on the range. It's a really good way of taking feelings that we're trying to implement in the golf swing and putting ourselves in positions where we can get a really, really good feeling for that. And over time, hopefully, this will start to translate to the full swing as well in a normal setup. So if you're struggling with ball striking, there are 3 drills that I guarantee will make a difference to your golf swing. It's going to mean better contact, and it should mean better iron shots. If you like this video, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next one.